Good afternoon, fellow punters. Mickey D with you here on Thursday afternoon about 1:15 with a plethora of stuff for tomorrow. A varied, mixed day. Um, the bus was out early this morning. The women were in mighty form. Christina Davis was ecstatic after tipping up Percy's Word yesterday. Followed quickly by Sorka de Facha, who tipped up New York Angel. And Paula Baldwin was going along with them in good faith, even though she called in sick, and she wasn't sick. So she was off to the races. She likes Alligator Alley in the first today. Craig Sutherland likes El Badigan in the Dante. He was in great form. And Darren Seddon likes Bless Him. So he had the holy water bottle to shake on Jamie Spencer to get him there in time. Shane Judge was home from Canada for the Leinster semi-final v Dublin at the weekend. John Collin and Claire Morden were in great form. Colin Jones landed in his Liverpool attire. He was looking for a chippy. I asked him for what reason, and he said that the trophy cabinet was full in Anfield and that they needed a carpenter for to make an extension. So Shane Maguire from Hardcore Carpentry in Dublin is taking on that task. Christopher Nolan was in great form, and Rob the Old Man Goose and Craig were going in with a pallet of bacon powder and bacon ingredients in case that Mickey Mongoose might win today, because if he does, or even get placed, there'll be the party of parties tonight in York. And the last one on the bus was Vinny Vega. The two races tomorrow that I like in York is the 3 o'clock is a 1 mile 2 handicap, 4-year-old plus. 4 favourites in the last 10 years. 8 of the last 13 winners have been 4-year-olds. Rogue Bear was unraced as a 2-year-old, and it won for first time out actually for Tom Clover in Doncaster on Good to Ferrum. It also won 2 handicaps last autumn of 79 and 85 on soft and on good ground, so it's ground versatile. So it was 3 for 5 last year. 2 runs this year have been good enough. Third of 22 to Johan and Salem in 100,000 handicap in Doncaster first time out. Nearest at the finish ran on well. And then it was third in Newbury in the Spring Cup to Modern News, who had been 7th in the Lincoln. Now, the 4th horse in that race was Isla Kai, who is running later today, so we'll see how that form stacks up. It stays very well to suggest that the step up and trip to 10 furlongs will suit. The trainer is in good form, Tom Clover. In the last 21 days, out of 20 horses that ran from his stable, 7 winners, 4 places, so that's a 35% strike rate. The Yorkshire Cup tomorrow is the big race of the week. The 3:35, it's a mile 6 Group 2, won by Spanish Mission last year. Stradivarius didn't run in this last year. He won it in 2018 and 2019. He's an absolute legend of a horse now, 8. He's 5 for 5 at York, 19 for 29 lifetime, 3.1 million in earnings, plus a 2 million bonus that he won for winning 3 cups in 2 years in a row. 4 to 6 he is tomorrow. First time out as an 8-year-old. We might be able to look to make money elsewhere. Search for a Song is 1 for 1 in York. One of Phillies and Mayor's listed race, mile 4 in August 2019. Gets £6, and with that'll equal out at the weights, and that being a 6-year-old, it has run already to a second to Kyprios in Ireland. That's 7 to 4 without the favourite. There's 45 in the field, so I think that's a good bet at 7 to 4 without the favourite. Tashcan is no slouch, but trainer Brian Ellison is been out of form. He's 0 for 18 in the last 21 days. So anyone that doesn't want to take the 4 to 6 could take the 7 to 4, or you could do that and take a chance on Search for Song 5 to 1 as well. There's a sprint, the last race, the day. If anyone wants to have a bet on that, the top weight, Hello My Darling, down a few pounds in the weight. It's a big price. It needs fast ground. It's one first time out, and it's a third in a Class 2 nursery to Flame and Rib last August over the course. The bookies are playing 5 places. I don't no idea the price, but I'd imagine it'd be 12, 14, 16s in that race. That's Hello My Darling, as all the fellas on the bus might be singing tonight. There's a few horses elsewhere then at different tracks. The 250 at Newmarket tomorrow is a 1 mile 6 declared. The top weight is Summer's Night. It's rated 97, runs for Sir Mark Prescott. It's his first run this year, and he needed the first run last year. He was 4th actually of 67. He then proceeded to win 5 later in the season. But the bottom weight is Soapy Stevens. Might be worth the bet. It's second favourite, I think, at 7-2, and it's 9-4 favourite, Summer Night. He runs for Merrick Johnson, but it was behind Enemy in Musselburgh, and then it was behind Simhan. It carries 9 stone. It's a tricky race, but I just thought he might have the tactical speed to get ahead, get a bit of toe on the other one with a bit of fitness on his side. David Egan in the saddle. Hamilton in the 720, Farhan for John Butler. He has a strike rate of 23% in the last 21 days. He has a good chance on his second to Siskany in Newmarket last October, and he was 4th in Kempton the first run this year in a 50,000 race. The 1 mile 2 race should suit. The jockey has taken off £7. That's young Ryan Sexton. He's 1 for 1 for the yard, and he's 14 for 70 for the year, which is 20%. There's a horse at Kilbeggan in the 5:30 in handicap hurry, 2 miles, Trebizond, for Henry de Ramhead and Rachel Blackmore. It won a maiden hurl last September in Roscommon on good ground. It was 9-1 for a big handicap in Leopardstown over the Christmas, but the soft ground scuppered his chances. It finished 9th. So the horse, the one that actually is running tomorrow evening as well, the top weight. But this one, De Bromhead does a great in Kilbeggan. He's a great strike rate. And that may be worth a pint each way if it's above 5-1. Have a look at it. You don't have to back all of these now tomorrow. Just pick and choose whatever you want. And finally, the 7:30, we'll be all looking at the 7 o'clock because the Savile Beg, Kyprios is in it. And he's 11-2, second favourite for the Ascot Gold Cup. And Trushan is the 5-2 favourite, but Trushan will only run if it's heavy or really soft. So we know that Kyprios is going for it, so he might be worth an anti-post 11-2 bet with that, because Stradivarius is the third favourite at 8-1 or 7-1 or something, or 6s. Anyone that's interested in that. The 7:30 at Leopardstown, there's a horse there, the 8 o'clock at Leopardstown, Free Park for John McConnell. He's had 2 runs at Leopardstown, just 3rd of 21 last July, 9 furlongs, good ground, off 59, which was 33-1, and off 47 this April to 2nd of 17, and to 16s into 9s that day, to suggest that they know that it's well handicapped. Forget about his last run, just on soft ground in Tipperary. It's a 5-year-old, it's 49 rating. Jockey takes off £2. But interestingly, it's first time at the trip, and it's a half-brother to Expatriate and Exit Pole, who were good staying hurlers. So there's pedigree in the, or stamina in the pedigree. So the step up to a mile 4 might suit. Anyway, that's me. There was a teacher one time, and she was wanting to get her pupils to say a word after each letter of the alphabet. So she put up the letter A, and she got all the bright sparks at the front. They came up with mighty big words altogether. But there's always a little Johnny, and Johnny came up with the word arse. So she wasn't too impressed anyway. So she went on to the letter B, and they came up with nice big words as well with the letter B. And Johnny decided that he would have a word for her, and he had the word bollocks. So she had the C word up then, and she just changed it. She said, no, she won't put up that for fear he might come out with it. So she changed to D. And then she went around about anyway, and they all came up with great words. And Johnny had his hand up left. There's always a Johnny in every class. And he said dwarf. And she was very surprised. And she says, that's great. She says, now Johnny, she says, would you tell the class, she says, well, what's a dwarf? He said, he's a cunt about that tall. Good luck.